Can you use boric acid suppositories if you're pregnant? What about if you're breastfeeding? Do I need to stop having intercourse while I'm using boric acid? All of these are questions that I get time and time again in the comment section of my videos when I make videos about boric acid suppositories. So this video, I'm going to answer all of the top questions. So if you want to know the answer to those questions, make sure you keep on watching this video.
Quincy J, yeah, spring.
Hey, welcome y'all, welcome. If you are new, I'm Quincy J, and this right here is the #1 place to be for self-care information and education strictly for the ladies. So this is the third video in a series of videos that I have done about boric acid suppositories. So if you have not checked those out, I'll put a link to those right here in the white card. You just tap that, it'll take you there. And I'll also put a link to it in the description of this video so you can go and check those videos out, because in those videos I go more in depth about boric acid. But this video right here, this one right here, is all about those questions that I get in the comment sections of those videos. So we're gonna answer them. Y'all are gonna know, everything you need to know, hopefully, and then you can make a decision of whether or not boric acid is for you. Okay, so if this is the first video that you are seeing about boric acid suppositories, I'll go ahead and give you just a little real quick summary of what boric acid suppositories are, what they do. So boric acid suppositories have been kind of in a buzz lately, especially here on YouTube, because women are starting to find out that they can use this as a treatment for bacterial vaginosis, for yeast infections, and then just to feel a little fresh. I see a lot of women saying they just use them prophylactically, just to make sure everything stays cool down there. Now, it does not treat STDs or any kind of major pelvic inflammatory disease or anything like that. But if you have a yeast, you can buy the over-the-counter yeast infection products, and this is just another option. But women who are not having any success with antibiotic treatments or those over-the-counters are finding success with boric acid. And that's not to say that there are not some side effects and drawbacks. I do have a video that tells you all about the side effects in detail of boric acid and the things that you should look out for. So if you are here and you already know all that stuff, you just want to know the answers to the questions you've been wanting to know the answers to, right? So let's go ahead and jump into question number 1. So the first question that I see a lot of, and these are not in any particular order, y'all. They're not in any order, I don't guess. But the first question that I get a lot is, can I use boric acid suppositories while I am on my period? So the answer to that is yes. You can use boric acid suppositories when you're on your cycle, just as you can use those over-the-counter treatments when you're on your cycle. Now, if you normally use tampons or menstrual cups or something like that, I would not personally use those at the same time that I'm using the boric acid suppositories. I would use a pad, because one thing with the boric acid suppositories is that the next morning when you get up, you're more than likely going to have some discharge, and you're going to get the remnants of that suppository after it melted when you were asleep. And in bed last night, all that kind of comes out. So I would wear a pad, because a tampon could absorb it and then it's in there and you just don't want none. You just use a pad. Okay, so another question that I get quite often is, can I use it during the day? So the quick answer to that is, I'm gonna say yeah, you could, but I would not. And the reason for that is, when you go to bed at night and insert the suppository, it has all night to work, because you're laying flat, it's inserted, it's not just going to run out like you would if you put it in the morning and you at work or you at school and you just, going all about your day. It don't have time to kind of stay in there and do the work like it would if you put it in at night. So I definitely think putting it in at night is the best option so that you can get the best results. Okay, so another question that I have gotten has been whether or not you can use it when you're under the age of 18. So If you are under the age 18, I would definitely say consult your parent or your guardian when you have any kind of issues, because at that age you may not be 100% sure that it is yeast. It could be something else. It could be something else. So let your parent know, you know, they may want to take you to the doctor to get you checked out, but let that be their decision. Boric acid does have some toxic side effects if it is used improperly, so you don't want none of that to happen. You don't want none of that to happen. So if you under 18, you know, go ahead and let your parent know what's going on and let them make that decision. If they haven't heard of boric acid suppositories, then you can definitely let them watch the video, you know, let them watch one of the videos that I have. So they can be informed about it, and then they can help make the right decision for you, because they care about you and they want to do the right thing for you, right? So yeah, let your parent know, because there is some indication that say don't use it when you're under, I think it's 12 years old. But you know, if you're 13, you just a year away from 12. Like you don't know that, but you know what I'm saying. Ask your parent before you go using boric acid suppositories, and definitely do not ingest, do not take in your mouth, do not swallow boric acid suppositories. That's bad, 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 bad. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but if you are not a part of the community, then I would love to have you. So consider subscribing to the channel by clicking the red subscribe button under this video, and then tap that bell right beside it so you get notifications every time a new video comes out. I would love to have you be a part of the community. So another very common question I get asked is, can I use boric acid suppositories when I'm pregnant? And my answer to that is going to be no. No. Now, there hadn't really been any studies about it. Nobody has any data, official data or whatnot, saying no, not to use it when you're pregnant. But we know when you use it, if it happens to get into your bloodstream via a cut or something going on, an abrasion or something down there, that it could be toxic. So we definitely would not want it entering the bloodstream, or even given an opportunity to, by using it when you are with a baby, with child, with your little fetus. Don't be using that. Now, if you are pregnant and you're having signs of BV or yeast or anything like that, I suggest you go and you talk to your doctor about it. They can prescribe you something, or they may even tell you to go use something over the counter. But you need to talk to your doctor first and find out what it is your OBGYN wants you to do. Okay, and so another question that goes along the lines of this question would be, can I use it when I'm breastfeeding? So the answer to that is also going to be, let me lean in. No, don't use it when you're breastfeeding or pregnant. We have now entered the portion of the video that is ASMR. I'm actually in the library in a little cubicle, but I wanted to tell y'all what the number one question is, or give you the answer to the number one question that I get asked. Undoubtedly, this is the number one question, and it's a very good question. And that is, while using boric acid suppositories, do I need to abstain? Good question. Good question. The answer to that is yes. So you can use it for one day. I found out that some women say they just use it as a preventative measure once in a while, you know, just one day, boop, boop, boop. But you can use it upwards to 14 days. In general, I guess, usually you use it for a 7-day round. It depends on what your bottle, your instructions say. And even for this question, you could call the number of the manufacturer who made your bottle of suppositories and ask them if it's not stated. There are some bottles that do state to wait for 24 hours after the last use. My personal opinion, I would say at least 36 hours. And that's because you're going to insert it at night. So let's say if you do a 7-day round and your last one was inserted on Friday night, I would at least wait until Sunday morning before having intercourse. But, you know, at least 24 hours is what most bottles say. This one is the one that I get a lot, okay? So, this question is, can you use the suppositories when you have an IUD? So for this question, I had to put on my thinking cap, I had to do some research, and I had to do some calling so I can tell you the right information, right? So, first of all, IUDs are two different kinds. You have the hormonal and you have the non-hormonal, which are the copper IUDs. Okay, so I was like, well, I want to know, you know, can you use it? If you go online to Google, you don't really get a definitive answer. And the thing about that is, when you call the companies, you still don't get a definitive answer. I went ahead, I called one company that produces the copper IUDs, and I asked them, you know, with a copper IUD in place, can you use boric acid suppositories? And the answer they gave me is that has not been tested, so they do not know. Well, you know, they didn't say it like that, but essentially they said that. And for you to go ahead and contact your doctor to see what your doctor says about that. So that was the copper IUDs. So then I went ahead and called one of the hormonal IUD companies and asked them the same thing. And their answer was pretty much the same. They said that they were not sure if you could or not, to go ahead and contact your doctor and let them make that decision for you. So guys, you're going to have to contact your doctor and see what they say. So definitely contact them though. I wouldn't just, you know, be like, go ahead. Contact your doctor and then tell them, you know, you're interested in using boric acid suppositories. I will tell you this. Some doctors ain't really with using boric acid suppositories. They don't know about it. They probably know it's a roach killer. I don't know. They don't know about it. So they're going to be like, what? You know, they used to prescribing antibiotics, you know, telling you to go get a Myconazole treatment or something. But nevertheless, you got to run it by them before you use it if you have an IUD. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not seen this video here, you might want to try it. You might be a little interested. You see this shoulder? That's the, you know. You might want to see this video here. Or you might want to see this one here. And you might want to join the family by subscribing here. Boop. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.